Welcome to Yoda Soda Creations podcast. Reference to the business. Talking movies you got recent. March to April doubleheader. Side B.
Yep. Ow. Yeah. Still. Mm. Okay, so it's a bit sore. That's new. Mm. Might dip out for a little bit later to make myself some tea, but for now, I'll see what I can do. So, weekly recap for this week. So, let's see now. Sunday did like one or two panels, and basically called it a day because there wasn't really much going on. Because I mean, it's final day of convention. You usually end up finishing up around 3 or so. So yeah, we just kind of chill a bit, and then, like I mentioned yesterday, we went and got food and went to bed early-ish, because checkout time was at like 10 a.m. Monday rolls around, we're already all packed up, so it's all good. But our train doesn't leave till like 2 or so. So we check in the bags with the place we were staying at, and we go for a walk, and eventually decide that okay, there's nothing around here to really do, so we went on the light rail, went to the end of the line, then went back, plus one stop, checked out the comic book store up at the Capitol Hill stop, and got lunch at Dick's. Because hey, we're there, it's cheap, whatever. So we head on back, get our bags, and get a lift to the train station, where we wait for a bit and then board the train. And it, yeah, it was fairly uneventful. Although we did spot some slightly dubious-looking Boeing planes on the way home. So yeah, that's a thing that's been going around lately. So yeah, we got home, got picked up by my cousin's wife's mom, who was house sitting for us. You know, someone had to watch the animals. And yeah, she made us enchiladas. Pretty good. Tuesday, I think I turned my alarms off for Tuesday just because, like, okay, yeah, day after you get back from a trip, you just want to rest up. Did get some, okay, didn't really do any editing, but like I did set up two videos for upload, like for release for the rest of the week. Of course, by now those are up already. Wednesday. Oh yeah, one other thing. I think on Tuesday, ended up stepping on a piece of glass. Apparently, someone broke a bowl or something. So yeah, I had a little bit of sliver that I had to get out. But yeah. So Wednesday, bit of a ticklish throat, a little bit of clogginess, but like other than that, I felt fine. So I did go to work, but I did wear a mask just in case. Thursday is when I really started like you know when you're like trying to clear your throat, you're like really clogged, and you end up vomiting. Basically that. That was basically the sign that yeah, I should probably stay home today. And I've been coughing up gunk since. So yeah, I haven't really been doing much. Just like reading, watching videos, resting up. Did post on my not Reddit. Did post on my Discord like, yeah, due to being sick, yeah, uploads may be delayed by a bit. Because when I was doing my editing before the trip, I didn't account on being sick when I got back. Because, okay, to be fair, I typically don't get sick after conventions all that often. I mean, sometimes, but I had already gotten sick in February, so I figured, like, I should be good for a while, you know? But here we go. So, yeah, depending on how I feel tomorrow, I might try to get some editing work done. And, yeah. Overall, not much going on in my life this past week. So, how about you?
Probably can make this zipper next couple hours. So anyway. Easter service happened at It's interestingly the race of the week happened later, so figured why not. First flapping of the course to my knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Once I was secure of the as mentioned, watch this into action, which I will detail later. I show my dad one of the DVDs I got while he was away, so that he could finally get his head around the fact that prior to, I don't think he got his head around. Hopefully not a lot of that distinction one from the other, despite their similarities. Certain following day ended up being avoided in a different manner as opposed to that one time. but some are still managed. And in some relation to that, first trip to the Wildlife Sanctuary of the year. Rapporteur found me invited a few more times afterwards, given that it was just two of us, but we'll have to wait and see. Sure, afterwards, visit to the Oregon Rail Heritage Center. Some against your notes, which I will also detail later. Following day was the following day was a trade show. Not as far as the last two trips, but still took a good chunk of yesterday out. And 7th went back in December. Nearby museum and Model River layout was a bonus. This time we actually got to go behind closed doors. We were waiting between sections. Good closer shots of some areas that were remodeled. Last time I can remember doing something like that was my, at the moment, only trip down to Pasadena Mall River Club, amongst other destinations in Southern California. Now that after you go over at the Mall River Club members, you should go. Basically, that's where them get at. bits of business and a few other things to take care of tomorrow, but hopefully.
Uh-huh.
Those to be done with. So I can relax just a bit more until another point of interest. Possibly next month.
Mm-hmm. I'm back in a couple minutes. I'm gonna go make some tea with some honey, and hopefully that'll help.
Activated sheet today, though. Race action today will not be reported. That'll be saved for next week.
Okay, sorry about that. Uh, The stove took a while heating up the tea, or heating up the water to use for the tea anyway. Ugh. But yeah. So, we got Pony this time around, and it's actually a proper full length episode as opposed to like the 5 minute bits we've been getting so far. So basically, Izzy has a case of the hold on, of the blocky walkies, or in normal person terms, creative block. Basically, the creative juices just really aren't flowing anymore. So yeah, Izzy goes on basically a quest slash vacation slash, hey, let's check out where the portals take us today. So yeah, let's see now. Yeah, it takes Izzy to the icy place from before, and the Dragonlands, and oh hey, look, sea ponies. I mean, I know you're supposed to call in the sea ponies when you're in distress, but I don't think they meant for creative block purposes. Like that seems like a really mundane reason to call upon the sea ponies. But yeah, then finally takes her back to Maritime Bay, where she finds an essentially abandoned amusement park along the beach, which you would have thought someone would have noticed that by now. But hey, what do I know? And it's like, ooh, that could be this, that could be that. Ooh. Oh, also, catty villain person here too. It's like, oh hey, she has that crystal thing, so I can get back. But like Miss Izzy got so inspired by the abandoned amusement park that she goes all rainbow power. I'm not joking. She got like all rainbow main stuff going on now. It's like, wow, I didn't think that would make a comeback, but hey, here we are. Seriously though, really weird callback, because yeah, rainbow power is like used once and then basically never again.
Or at least, or at least within the main context, because there was that dream sequence.
Fair, but it's like the rainbow powers, they're basically one get out of jail free after 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 sealing away the elements, after that it's like, okay, silent glimmer, redeemed or talked down. Uh, Chrysalis, basically it's like, oh yeah, it's just like didn't need the elements for that. Pony of Shadows, talked him down. And by the time we get to season 8, okay, still didn't need the elements for that, and yeah, it was like there. Okay, you get this one bonus thing, but after that you're on your own.
Also, also marketing.
That too. But yeah, so yeah, Izzy goes all rainbow power and magic set up an amusement park, and the portal crystal like splits into like 6 different shards embedding themselves in portions of the amusement park. And it's like the villain's like, "Oh no, curses! You've thwarted my whatever. This was a spur of the moment thing. I didn't literally did not plan on this. This was just you were in the area. You're literally walking right by where I was hanging out. Like I had nothing better to do today." Curses foiled again. Runs off. So yeah, now there's like a amusement park. So Sunny has like a bigger smoothie booth, and Zip has a roller coaster and stuff. And okay, I mean, okay, this is if we're talking about marketing stuff, this really feels like it's pandering to the toy makers. It's like, oh hey, look, new play sets. Yes, I was joking at the beginning of the episode because it started off with a musical bit. Like, oh no, but by the end of this, someone's either going to get their cutie mark or turn into an alicorn. Okay, so Rainbow Power, that I didn't bet on that one, but sure, why not? Yeah, it's a thing that happened. I I got nothing really. She literally magicked up an amusement park out of nothing, but pure magic. Like, you seriously can't tell me that they had all of that material just laying around there. You'd think someone would have noticed that by this point and would have cleaned the area up. I mean, yeah, it was run down already, but you really can't make roller coasters with with like old, probably rusted metal.
What you need, what you need to do is ship it out to the steelers where they'll melt it down, mix it with some other materials, and steel.
Yes. So yeah, I guess Maritime Bay has a new tourist hotspot. I guess. I'm going to assume that more episodes are going to revolve around stuff going around, happening at the new place. Because sure, of course, no idea when the next episode's going to happen, but we'll see.
So,
Right.
sounds like that random report's going to have another field day.
Yep. Hmm. Okay.
Also, also as one expected, sun has an effect with freeze powers. So,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, trying to find like a nice, cool lair to chill in. Joke not intended, but whatever. But yeah, okay, freeze the forest. Oh no, it's melting. Who would have thought with it being a bright sunny day? It's like, this is probably the wrong time of year to be making ice spaces. I'm just gonna say, like, maybe try again in winter. That might work out better. But yeah, interesting special. 'Cause that's basically what it is. It's a special episode. And yeah, we'll see where they go from here. Like now that the portal crystal has been split, I guess. No more portal shenanigans. Maybe each shard will have its own destination. Because like I don't know. But wait, that's not all. We also watched Bionicle Mask of Light. Now I do have some experience with the Bionicle sub brand of Lego. I did actually kind of play around with those back when it was just starting out. I didn't really know anything about the lore or anything. I just thought they looked cool. Like, okay, Mask of Light, that was like, what, early 2000s? So I would have been around maybe 12 or 13 by that time. Maybe 14, I don't know. Point is, it's like, ooh, action figures, but with Lego. And that's basically all I knew about Bionicles. Was like, oh, cool, like bigger Lego people with masks and you can and weapons and stuff, like big weapons. And yeah, it's like a whole sub brand. Like, yeah, you got Bionicle and the Ninjago, whatever. There's like the two main sub brands that really kicked off for Lego. Don't know if they did anything else besides those two. I didn't really keep up with Lego over the years. But yeah, Bionicle.
there's a lot that went, there was a lot that went down. There was a lot that went down, though. Of course, most people are MOCing these days.
Right. Of course, let's not get into stuff like Lego Batman or like the various branded Lego whatever franchise video games.
Should know though that
Because
I was
I don't really count those.
yeah. Should know though that I was also subscribed to Lego magazine around this point. There used to be a Bionicle comic that came with them.
I do vaguely remember those. And they used to come in like these cylindrical little tube things with a twist top. I really like that because, like, unlike, I mean, okay, I suppose you could reuse some Lego packaging, but with the with the Bionicle tube, it was really properly reusable and good for storage and stuff.
Of course. But though I should note, it took me a while to actually want to hold on to things.
Yeah, I want to say I still have some of my Legos somewhere in storage. But anyway,
Not entirely sure
plot.
about my not entirely sure about my comic collection. It goes up to comic collection is fourth year, fourth year to fourth year to the approximate end of the first generation at least,
Yeah,
and I have some samples of 3 years in the franchise,
mm-hmm.
including that including a couple of characters that this movie has.
Yeah. So yeah, Bionicle plot stuff. So basically, the Great Spirit Madanui created the inhabitants of the islands, and then was sent into a coma by his brother Makuta. His reign was ended by 6 guardians, basically yeah, elemental guardians, each with their own special mask thing. Yeah, you got air, water, earth, fire, stone, and ice. It's like, oh, so you have both earth and stone. That seems kind of, I don't know. And like, okay, I could give a pass to ice, even though that seems more like a sub element for water. Like maybe they could have gone with like taking in some of the Asian elemental stuff like metal and aether or something. I don't know. Just having both stone and earth seems a bit. Yeah, you know what I mean.
At the time, I believe they were trying to make a, trying to serve it two forms, and then once the last Airbender cartoon came into the picture, you would eventually start wrapping your head around the shared elements. Because let's face it, you can start with Earth, but it'll be a while before you can control things like sand.
That's fair. And that's not if you count ice as like a fusion element combining both air and water. The air making the water colder to freeze, and like lava or magma would be like a fusion of fire and earth. Of course, you also get like the whole sand glass thing, which is sand and fire, which is just really fine. Whatever, you get the idea. We could talk about elements all night long, but that's not what we're here for. Anyway, so yeah, the 6 guardians basically locked them away, and yeah, in current times, yeah, uh, Jaller and Takua from the Fire Village find another mask, the Mask of Light. And immediately my thought was going like, wait, so if there's a mask of light, then by then by something narrative whatever, there has to be a mask of darkness. Like you can't have one without the other. It's like, yeah. But we'll get to that. So yeah, found the mask of light. And yeah, the it's found out like, okay, you found the mask. Now we gotta find it in the seventh Toa, which is like the Guardians. But yeah, with this one, you don't just like they don't just show up. You have to find them. So yeah, Jollar and Deku are sent on the quest to find the seventh Toa, and yeah, everyone thinks Jollar is the Herald, but it's like, and Deku is like, I don't want to be a part of this. But Jollar's like, oh yeah, he's coming too. Like, God, why? Oh, in the meantime, yeah, remember Makua, the bad guy, brother of the Great Spirit? Yeah, he sends these rock she's basically beings born of his essence. Uh, yeah, he sends them to get the mask, and it took me a while, but I know what it's at least one of them looked like to me. You know the Covenant soldiers from Halo? I was kind of getting those vibes. Anyway,
At least until their faces
yeah,
open in a Tesla-like vibes. Speaking of, strange how one descriptions this song, but in the official guide, it's bleach-like.
yeah.
Originally, originally Kratab, later
But yeah, the two go on their quest, and along the way meet up with the other Toas. Uh, at one point, the the three Rakshi are basically trapped in ice. But yeah, when going through a cave, Takua basically gets into a little chat with Makuta. It's like, oh hey, if you bring me the mask, I won't kill everyone you know and love. This then prompts Takua to basically say, F this, I am out of here. And yeah, runs off. We're gonna releases three more Rakshi, so basically, there's one Rakshi per Toa.
in their case, though, they have opposite effects. Firstly, fragmentation, disintegration, and poison. And the later three, anger, fear, and weaken.
Yeah. Yeah, eventually they get to a temple at the island center. All six Rakshi show up, but then all six Toas show up, and then Jolly does a thing, and Takua basically like, okay, fine, I'll wear the mask. And then it becomes the Toe of Light, and basically like, okay, going down the hole, facing Makuta. I'll give you the signal to follow me in a bit. And then Takua and Makuta play this nifty sports ball game against each other. And yeah, yeah, remember that Mask of Darkness thing? I think that was like Makuta's whole thing, because yeah, Takua. Well, okay, Takua is now Takanuva, Toe of Light. I'm just gonna keep calling him Takua. Yeah, he starts pulling at Makuta's face, and then they fall into a pool, and then they kind of fuse together into a Takanuva. It's like, okay. Oh wait, no, Takanuva is the toe of light. Hold on, there's a proper name. Taku Takutanuva. Uh, in the character listing on Wiki. Like, okay, making it so everyone can escape and trapped behind, and but then they do the whole ritual thing, and now Takua's back, and yeah, something beam of light to some other island or city or whatever. It was kind of vague. Like, okay, like,
Would it be
is Makuta still around? What happened there?
would become a center for the second movie? Although the next two tales will be in flashbacks.
Ah,
And according to the comics, I believe somehow Essence ended up in some form of crystal, but I'll save a good chunk of the stories not covered within the films for when I will need to fill the gap.
yeah. But yeah, it's like I kind of dubbed the fused form as the Toa of Twilight, because if you get the Toa of Light, Toa of Darkness, you merge the two together. Got the light with the darkness, darkness with the light. Or something like that, whatever. But yeah, also voice cast. So Andrew Francis is Joller. So hey, good to see him again. Okay, who's he? Oh, Scott McNeil. Toe of Fire, Toe of Earth. Let's see, what does he do? Okay. Oh, Hohenheim of Light, Full Metal Alchemist. Was that for the original dub or the brother? Well, okay, no, it's for the original dub show. Did they bring him back for? Okay, does it look like they brought him back for the Brotherhood dub? So that's unfortunate. Uh-huh. Honestly, not much. Oh, he was Koga and Inuyasha. That's cool. Uh, anyway, uh,
Flame in the previous generation, of course.
yep. Okay, don't know of any of that stuff. Ooh, Kathleen Barr's Golly, Toe of Water. Yes, someone with more voice roles than I could list in a reasonable amount of time. But you may know her as Trixie. It's ooh, Lee Tokar as Makuta and the and Takutanuva. Ah, yep. Good to see him again. Christopher Gaze. What do you do? Uh, Barbie, Barbie, Bionicle, Barbie. Oh, voice of General Sea Spray and Pony. Okay. Oh, was also in an episode of Stargate. Cool. Michael Dobson as the Toe of Ice. Ooh, he was Unicron Trilogy Starscream. Nice. That was my favorite Starscream. Also bulk biceps.
I'm gonna have a chance to talk to Lee at some point, because man, he had one of the definitive villain voices when I was a kid.
Yep. Oh, he was also Mojo Jojo in Powerpuff Girls Z. Interesting. That's, Trevor Duvall is the Toe of Stone. Uh, okay, let's see now.
Vince Vance and Horty Torty are two that come to mind.
Uh, Fancy Pants, Thunderlane, Iron Will. Done a lot of stuff, actually. Ooh, Mulaflag and Gundam Seed. Nice. Okay. Also did a bit of Stargate. Twice, actually. Two different characters, to be fair. But, hey, that's interesting. And, Chiara Zani as, Halia Gamator. Okay, to be fair with the character designs, it's kind of hard to keep track of who's who.
Their color coding was still pretty important, though.
Ooh. Okay, Daring Do.
Mm-hmm.
And a random villager. Who could forget Random Villager? And then a few others that don't have wiki pages. But for Takua, Jason Mikas, let me just see if there's an IMDb. Oh, Ragamuffin from Spring Breakdown, the Equestria Girls special / movie / whatever. Huh. Yeah, not much to go on here.
Huh. Strange, because Dr. Harris forgot Battle Level. I did some research and I was like, yep, that was our previous girl, right? I'm also seeing Dragon Ball Z on his resume.
Yeah, like going off of the IMDb, that doesn't show up. Uh, okay, gonna check a few other sites. Dragon Tales. Yeah. But yeah, it was an interesting movie. Uh, yeah, a bit left a bit open ended. It's like, okay, so they find this new island, cut to credits, and yeah, I guess we'll find out what happened to the villain some other time. I guess either Takua either doesn't appear again or is recast because yeah, Jason Mitchell was only listed as for Takua in this one movie, so
It was said that with every new year there was a new cast of with every new year there was a new cast of characters. Some did eventually make a return, building up to a huge in terms of character roster base finale.
yep. Ooh. Although, let's see now, looking ahead a few movies. Ooh, looks like we'll be seeing some Tabitha St. Germain and Brian Drummond. Nice. So that's something to look forward to. Ooh, they. Oh, wow. I'm just checking the schedule thing. Oh, well, for the last one, like Michael Jordan, Jim Cummings, James Arnold Taylor. Wow, they went all out for that one.
That
We'll get
ended
to that when we get to it.
that one ends up being the final year in the original generation. I do believe there was a rerun at one point. Didn't quite go far enough, but a worthy attempt, I will say much. In fact, I definitely definitely remember a friend who said I couldn't make it tonight, at least in terms of a little chat room. Once did a video connecting it to ponies.
Yep. Although by what I can see with this, it seems like it's another one of those multimedia franchise things that puts bits of story here, there among the various media types. So it's like, oh yeah, so you got this movie, and the second movie, but some of this might not make sense unless you read the comics that came with the toys or something. Which is like, yeah, you have to. There's a fine balance you have to strike with that kind of thing, because it's like, okay, let's see, various examples. The Dot Hack franchise. You got like anime, manga, light novels, the games. Hell, just Kingdom Hearts alone. And that was just games. But it was like all the various consoles it was on it may as well be in a whole multimedia franchise thing going on.
That said, if you can find the graphic novels, I do believe that those trades will were mostly the center of it. Basically, where most of the story and writing seems to have the strongest elements. strange enough, I seem to remember them having a brief time on the website, though I don't think I would check that out. Still looking back, I
Yeah.
do think they managed to wrap it up on a decent. Do think they managed to wrap it up on a note that doesn't feel too infuriating.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's like, and the animation, it's like, okay, mind you, it's like 2003, so it's not the greatest, but it's like, they really made you feel like it was a movie with Legos. It's like, they would speak, and I'd see a little a hole in their mouth where you would plug the mask into. It's like, oh yeah, I remember that. That you slot the mask into that face hole and plugs in there, and got like little feet. It really didn't. The feet were weird, and it also kind of. Okay, to be fair, Bionicle isn't quite as blocky as normal Lego. I'll give it that. It's a lot more. The design's a lot more elaborate with Bionicle.
With the designs for the movie, it's the best way to point out is trying to replicate what was designed for the construction sets, while also make that so it didn't look like, say, stop motion, or in a sense, third dimensional stop motion, or CG stop motion. Basically,
Yeah,
basically making sure that there were proper expressions, lip movements, and
yeah. They're still able to like evoke like the emotions while still giving that feel like, oh yeah, these are the toys that you've been playing with at home. So in a way, they managed to find that nice fine balance between having properly emotive characters while also staying true to like the general design of the toy set or something like that.
of course, actual hands is supposed to
Yeah,
what they had to substitute in the sets.
it's like, oh god, Lego characters with actual hands, suspension of disbelief broken, 0 out of 10, immersion is totally ruined. What? Next, you're gonna tell me that the Lego people actually have flat feet with no holes in them? Pff, yeah, right.
On on that note, they had to make complete. On that note, they had to redesign the bottom parts when they did NBA sets and figures.
Oh, interesting.
They were trying to spring attention thing potential thing as a means to invoke the basketball feel.
Ah. Yeah, though personally, I think the Toa have an advantage over the normal Lego people as far as basketball goes, but that's just me. Like, maybe if they let the regular Lego people use, like, a mech or something, maybe that would even the field a bit. But just, like, on a size scale alone, yeah, the Toa have a total advantage there. So, one of the writers is Greg Weisman. You may know him from Gargoyle, Spectacular Spider-Man, and Young Justice, among other things. Righty then.
I was able to help out, especially with the original conceptuaries. When it came to script writing.
Huh. Okay.
There's another Greg though that is a at the time was one of the head writers for the franchise, though for some reason I've seen his name so many times, but I can't quite pronounce it.
Uh, so,
I do believe that can't remember who precisely when it came to earliest encounters with the animation side, but it was either a schoolmate or some other kind of friend, but something along those lines. Later watched it again solo, then eventually the other three, which we'll get to in a bit, or throughout the month. But yeah, eventually the ongoing story in the comics would be over to eventually start saving those. Hope I can find the graphic novels of the first 3 years at some point.
yeah.
And the theming personally hits a whole new note when you hear that apparently this helped save the Lego company itself.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know if the ride's still in Legoland, California, but that was one of two acknowledgments of the Technic side of Lego. Everything else was the classic brick system.
Yeah.
Strange, I can't seem to fan out that record counter, but interesting casting choice for the Return of the Sea Bunnies.
Yep.
The same woman who Misty eventually broke free from.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, some rejections, some new stuff. Things are gonna get interesting. And even if the running on the animation is going to get vague, if you knew the lore of the materials and such, over time you begin to relish a bit more, relish a bit more with the avenues they were exploiting.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's only the beginning, as there are more tales from the past to uncover in the weeks to come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so getting getting into the news for this week, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth's director Naoki Hamaguchi has been promoted to Square Enix's executive staff following the game's release earlier this year. Riot plans to add League of Legends servers to the Middle East in 2024. Has added the Great Teacher Onizuka anime. The Sergeant Frog manga is getting a new anime project celebrating its 20th anniversary. The Solo Leveling anime is getting a second season. Sadly, BabsCon 2025 will be the last one, set for April 18th through the 20th, 2025.
Though admittedly, I still have a question as to whether that's legit or not, given how could have been an early prank or something. But again, if you probably note the dates,
Well, yeah. Plus, like, hate to say it, but pony stuff is kind of like not as popular as it used to be. And I mean, yeah, Gen 5's doing all right, but plus after the pandemic hit, just conventions in general just haven't really been the same since.
it's really going to get touchy again once two locals, if ever, throw in the towel.
Yeah,
But we'll see how things.
yeah.
Go. Although, in a civil fashion to at least one of those locals, I do hear there could be a possible rebrand at some point.
That's a possibility. Okay. Tara Strong thinks Teen Titans has a story that needs to be told. Quote, it's a new year. Would be amazing to grant the most devoted, deserving fans who've waited a generation their season 6. Sorry, their hashtag season 6. Quantum Leap has been cancelled by NBC after 2 seasons. So sadly, Doctor whoever the new character's name here is, and being misspelled, never returned home. Yeah, to be fair, doing a Quantum Leap reboot was kind of hard to sell to begin with, but with the cliffhanger ending from last time they tried, the first time they did Quantum Leap.
For some reason, I keep thinking it's a separate entity. I do remember the advertisements, though.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm pretty sure it's just like a full-on reboot, but still. The live-action Moana remake has been delayed to July 10th, 2026. Toy Story 5 will release on June 19th, 2026 in theaters. An Agent Spider mod has already been made for Insomniac Spider-Man. Oh yeah, the Invincible season 2 finale. From what I could see, had a lot of cameos from legally distinct figures that are totally not licensed characters. Also, apparently I guess the Fortnite appearance is canon, judging by what I've seen on Twitter. Which, I mean, hey, sure, whatever.
Quite a lot of plans going forward, including exploring how Omni-Man is more than just mass murderer.
Yeah,
Can you rehabilitate someone from that kind of situation?
yeah, I have seen clips of that going around. Like, huh, I think I miss my wife. It's like, oh, that's a way to end a season. It's like, all things considered, I had it pretty good back there. Yeah, I really screwed the pooch on that one. Daredevil Born Again is wrapped filming. It releases next year on Disney Plus. Assuming nothing weird happens with, yeah. Robert Kirkman says he wants every episode of Invincible Season 3 to feel like a finale. Quote, "It is an absolutely huge season with so many crazy things you won't expect, unless you've read the graphic novel, in which case you might expect them."
Sounds like
Night
they're
Bitch. Oh, sorry.
sounds like
Go
they're,
on.
sounds like they're going a lot in terms of the introduction, reintroduction type of deal.
Yeah. Night Bitch, starring Amy Adams, will release on December 6th in theaters. The horror thriller follows a woman who's convinced she's turning into a dog. No, you're not turning into a dog. You're just a furry. That's nothing to be ashamed of. Unless you're one of those weird furries, in which case, you maybe back off a bit.
Oh gosh, why hasn't that been explored as a horror combat set? Slasher horror, I mean.
Yeah. A new tree prop and grass blocks have been spotted for the live action Minecraft movie. Robert Kirkman says the Fortnite cameo in the Invincible Season 2 finale was done in collaboration with Epic Games. Quote, "Maybe Engstrom sent him there and everything in the game is canon and he's coming out with the gun." Which means it is technically possible that he has canonically fought with Goku. A Legally Blonde spin-off series is in the works. Gossip Girl creators Josh Schwartz and Stephanie Savage are developing the show. Oh wow, Legally Blonde. I haven't heard of mention of that in quite some time.
Interestingly, my first encounter was, well, refamiliarizing myself with the game show Weakest Link, at least the George Gray era.
Ah,
I have been watching the newer one, though I haven't gotten word of newer episodes. Haven't gotten word of new episodes coming out yet.
hmm.
I'd say they're doing a good job of the comeback.
Yep. Albert Kim has stepped down as the showrunner for the live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender series. He has signed a deal with Disney to work as an executive producer on the Percy Jackson series. Christine Boylan and Jabbar Raisani, who executive produced the first season, will now develop seasons 2 and 3. We now have the full cast list for the Among Us animated series. Liv Henson, Randall Park, Dan Stevens, Phil Lamar, Elijah Wood, Kimiko Glenn, Wayne Knight, Deborah Wilson, Patton Oswalt, Ashley Johnson, and Yvette Nicole Brown play black, red, blue, brown, green, cyan, lime, yellow, white, purple, and orange, respectively. Got a new look at Moana 2, set 3 years after the first movie. In theaters, November 27th. Galactus is expected to be the main villain of Fantastic Four. No actor has been cast for the role yet. Although Julia Garner has been cast as a female Silver Surfer for the movie. A 4-issue comic miniseries, Death in the Family, Robin Lives, will launch in July and follow an alternate reality where Robin isn't killed off by the people calling in the special phone number from the previous issue. Oh, sorry, the Joker. Yeah, that was a whole thing back then. It's like, I guess Jason Todd wasn't all that popular, so they put it up to a poll, and people voted that to kill him off. This is like, okay, what if they didn't vote to kill him off?
Although Ra's al Ghul eventually came into the picture, and eventually both Death in the Family interactive movie as well as the Under the Red Hood animated film.
Yeah, so yeah, Jason Todd was dead for a while, and then Superboy Prime punched reality hard enough, and he woke up in a Lazarus pit. I'm not joking. That actually happened. Superboy Prime literally punched the walls of reality so hard, it caused retcons. The 2000s were weird.
So we almost did fly through OL light speed, restarting the universe in a new Big Bang.
Kirsten Dunst says she would have returned for Spider-Man No Way Home, but she was never asked. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But also, the film is probably already packed as it was. We don't want a Spider-Man 3 scenario where it's like you end up adding too much.
Plus, there's already an MJ in the MCU.
Yeah.
First, look at some of the newer animatronics and such for the Splash Mountain rebrand, now being Tiana's Bio Adventure.
Freaky Friday 2 will follow Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis's characters as they body swap with 2 teenage girls. One of the girls will be Anna's daughter. Alex Garland will no longer Alex Garland no longer plans to direct films after falling out of love with filmmaking.
Speaking of which, saw the year's map for his Civil War film. So I guess I'm part of the new people. So I guess we're part of the new people.
I guess. Okay, going to the other website. Islet Zero will return as Vanessa Fisk in Daredevil Born Again. The role was recast before the show's creative overhaul, so they unrecasted. And just a reminder, tomorrow, or I guess it's today, or okay, depending on where you are, uh, later on Tuesday, April 9th, 2024, the Fire Nation will be at its weakest with the eclipse. So yeah, if you want to fight the Fire Nation, tomorrow, that's when you want to attack. Yeah, there's a whole eclipse thing going on, so yeah, remember to wear your eclipse glasses or whatever if you're into that thing. Or just stare directly at it. Who am I to judge? We at the Yoda Soda Creations podcast do not condone staring directly at an eclipse. We we are not legally liable for any blindness that occurs from doing so.
More so, remember to have the proper gear if you're going out.
Please observe proper caution while observing the eclipse.
I should know. I've been there in 2017.
Yep. Okay, let's see now.
Chris Search says, following the story in a Marvel movie, if Greta Gerwig ever directed one.
Mm.
Sounds like a nightmare. Good work being cautious, though, after surviving Meyer-isms. I'm pretty sure she's becoming a bit more selective with her outings these days.
Yep.
Living Time, Love Story Films starring Flint's Pug and Andrew Garfield, releasing in the fall. Portrait of a Marriage and What It Means to Create a Family.
Yoshi P, the guy, behind Final Fantasy 14, kind of teased that, like, oh yeah, we love Final Fantasy Tactics too. Probably about time we do something about making a new one of those. It's like, don't tease us like that. At the very least, port the original Tactics to Steam or something.
I have a feeling a certain, quote, political figure, unquote, will have something to say. Will have quite a bit to say, but Lucas is apparently richest celebrity of the year at $5.5 billion.
Ooh. Class of Heroes 1 and 2 Complete Editions launching on April 26th for PS5, Switch, and PC. Like, cool, I actually have the first two games. I wonder if it'll still have the weird character creation glitch in the first game where it's like if you reset it long enough, like your stat point allotment will be like crazy high and stuff. Easily breakable of that game. Like, okay, that's good to see. The music video for the Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail expansion theme has been released. Hatsune Miku is coming to Crypt of the Necrodancer as a DLC character. I actually saw a thing for that on the Steam Specials thing on launch. It's like, oh, interesting. Might pick that up at some point. limited edition Fallout Stream Deck and accessories have been announced. Pre-orders open April 11th. And that's Stream Deck, not Steam Deck. So, Elgato, not Valve. So, yeah, like I mean that's cool. Looks interesting, but I already have stuff for that already, so I'm good.
Heathen's Kickstarter pre-launch page has been released. And on some related notes, Manwu has currently earned 50.5k of their 60k goal. To Nigerian research, Nigerian and American teenager returned to Nigeria after his death of her grandfather. Only a week to go in terms of taking donations. Other preview for certain seasons from Renegade Games. This one is Autumn.
According to Jeff Grubb, Sony is no longer interested in a Knights of the Old Republic remake, which is unfortunate. I'll be back. Ow. I'll be back in a minute.
As for the Easter race, 3 missing to 10. Fans are slating Oscar for calling for the Colin Hamlin's potential jump in the final restart. Kind of feel sorry for Elton, to be honest. Gearbox suffering layoffs from Embracer sale. And they go on and on and on and on.
Yep.
Foil exclusive reveal for the Putty Sayer Sale comic. So Crenshaw Jeff pulls into his driver and renegade work for the Madame Shay. Now on the property can go in for restoration. I'm quite sure if the Wilson will end up going back to Albany anytime soon. Penn Central Rail Circle State members into a call for caboose restoration. Getting back to Albany for a bit. Santa Maria Valley 205 is doing a photo charter. Claythorpe Coast Light Railway Relief Fair schedule for 2024 events. Finally, FRA, as well as the current administration, has announced final rules in regards to Trinco size safety requirements. Basically, 2 mans are a necessity this time, so no more risk of running 1 mans.
Mm-hmm.
Artisan Winfield, City Painting, Talbry's Funds for cosmetic restoration of Sanford 93 at the Great Plains Transportation Museum. Relays restores scheduled for May and June. Just under a month ago for the Steam Ranger. Once again, takes to the rails. TE512 operating transit Wake Pass over the course of this month. And Arkandle's History Director's Friends Family of Tim McGovern, Bishop X Artist, Toby Called from Dunkirk, Oscar winner 1980. Fred Gamble, racing driver in Chichi and Town Place in the 1960 Italian Grand Prix. Barbara Baldwin, Star Trek. Barbara Rush, Knight Rider, Fugitive, Adam West Batman. Joe Flaherty, Happy Gilmore, Home on the Range, Back to the Future Part 2, Mr. Union. Ed Piscor, X-Men. Mark Nicholas, The Hobo Shoestring. Bon Ishihara, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. And chance per demo. Genfi production is halted on behalf of his passing. But previously he was in Chilling Adventures of Sabrina and Shakespeare Hathaway Private Investigators. So Forte was the name I was trying to think of earlier. Not just his Bionicle work, but he's also not just his Bionicle work, but he's also a huge force in the Ninjago series.
Oh, okay.
Looks like it's the Bionicle successor, Hero Factory. If you're going to make it, I just was on another workspace around that. Not sure how none of these games are, but sounds like he did some work for the role-playing games Shadow Zone and Blood Shadows.
Oh.
A few other story-based themes that caught my interest. Throughout the Lego lifespan, Races actually had Races actually had a bit of a story at one point.
Okay.
There was a second version of Knight's Kingdom that had quite a lot. That had quite a lot of story to it. And they also had a Indiana Jones spoof. Character's name was Johnny Thunder. I can't remember the first one, but I definitely remember the Orient Expedition. That was another ongoing comic in the magazine.
Yeah.
And there was also a motion version back in the days when Flash was interactive websites.
Uh,
just look at the later Lego movies again, see if there was any past things actually did make it, but
Yeah, I didn't actually watch anything new today. I was mostly resting today.
should also point out there's been some fan comic devs coming up in recent years.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure I guess someone I'm familiar with, but said we today stop motion. Said we contributed to a stop motion project of similar theming a while back.
huh.
I will work on the finishing touches either offline or might end up finishing it.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, if it comes to that. Hopefully my friend does this or joins us at one point sometime this month.
Mm-hmm.
And the next adventure. Stay safe, skip out, stay out, boosted. Pray. Have my friend find recovery eventually, and